Okay, so I've been meaning to make a review for this film, which is the film Milk and Cereal. This is actually a movie you can watch for free right now on YouTube. I will say it is a very disturbing film. Note that going into it, but definitely one of those movies that just really surprised me how great it was. Honestly, just an amazing project. So before we get into my thoughts and opinions on it and a little bit more about what the director themselves said about the film, make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We are on the road to 35,000 subscribers. And let's get into Milk and Cereal. So Milk and Cereal is from a YouTuber, Curry Baker, that was uploaded to their channel, which on their channel, they do different things. It's like a group, I believe, and it's called That's a Bad Idea. And in this movie, you have a 62-minute found footage type-esque here, which basically takes you on a prank gone wrong. Now, I won't get any more into the film because I think it's such a great film to really just go into not knowing much. Like I said, it gets very disturbing. Just know that, because things escalate quick. But what I really enjoyed about this film is just how different and fresh it felt from everything we've been seeing a lot lately. I think this summer has been great for film. I think 2024 has been a great year for film, honestly. But I think that we are lacking something when it comes to Hollywood. And I just recently was watching, or I was looking through Twitter, and I saw Harmony Korine say something about how things are being sort of like in Hollywood at a standstill, where they keep doing the same things over and over. But if you look at streaming, YouTube, that's where it's at. That's where the magic is happening right now. And I couldn't agree more with that. I think Hollywood definitely has become stale. I think that world cinema is definitely more exciting for sure as well. So when I saw Milk and Cereal and people were talking about it, I had to check it out. I watched this about a week or two ago, and let me tell you, just great. So apparently this was shot on an $800 budget, and that was just for the gear that they used and an actor as well that they wanted to have on here. And this film, I think, was just shot so well. The pacing is so good here, because there's not a moment in the 62-minute runtime where the film drags or you feel like you're wasting your time watching this. You're really genuinely watching this and saying, I want to see what's happening next. I want to know what's the next part of it all. And that's what I think a film is supposed to do. It's supposed to have you like on the edge of your seat, and you're just eager to get to what's next, because you're like, oh man, this just happened. So what is going to happen now? Where does this lead this character into, and all of that? And that's exactly what Milk and Cereal does. It does a great job at keeping the suspense, keeping the thrill, the anticipation, all of that going, just leading you into each scene one by one, and just being such a knockout, honestly. So very much so a great paced film. That's always key, I think, with movies. You can have a so-so story, so-so visuals, but if you can keep people engaged and paced, that is what's going to sell you right here. Now, the acting here I thought was great, and these are all actors and people who just want to work in the industry, getting up and getting ready to do so. So it really was great to see that they still had a very good knack for this, right? Like the acting felt believable at times as well. And the way that this movie twists and turns its story, its narrative, and all of that was just so great as well, because it doesn't get to the point, you know, sometimes you watch a movie and there's a twist, and then there's this twist, and then there's this other twist, and you're just like, this is the twist movie, right? This movie does a good job at them feeling natural. It really progresses well. I did really love all of that going into Milk and Cereal. And honestly, the way that it's structured as a YouTube-esque video as well really added that refreshing layer to it, because we've seen found footage here and there, right? I feel like the genre of found footage has definitely hit a wall of sorts. And I'm not saying that's the end for found footage, but I'm saying that there needs to be a way to break that wall and go into new horizons. And I think Milk and Cereal does that well, because it sort of works as this sort of like YouTube video that you weren't supposed to watch but then got uploaded, you know? And I think that that is the magic of this movie, is that it feels like that these characters are so natural feeling at the same time. That I think goes with them already having a YouTube channel that is pretty successful, and they've done a bunch of sketch comedy, some shorts, and all of that. So I think that that's what really drives this movie home, is the fact that it does feel like a natural found footage and it doesn't feel forced. And I really am excited to see what Curry Baker and team will do next. Apparently they were trying to find distribution for this film, but weren't able to really find it. So they just decided, you know what, have this big like YouTube channel, why don't we just put our film out there, right? Let's just do it. Let's put it out there. He says, "We just wanted the best home for it. Interesting enough, after getting all the right paperwork and everything settled, we thought, man, this distribution company is probably just going to put it behind a paywall and someone's going to have to pay $2.99 to watch it on Shudder or whatever it ends up being on. I feel like our fans deserve to have the opportunity to watch this. They've seen the poster on my IMDb for a year and wondered, what is this? So even though we worked really hard for a year trying to get distribution for this thing, we said screw it and threw it on YouTube. Before, I always felt to be respected as a real movie, it has to be on Netflix or Shudder or Hulu or whatever." And he also went on to say that there's actually a hour and 25-minute cut of this film. He says, "Right before we posted on YouTube, I shaved off 20 minutes just to make it feel quicker. I've always been an editor and I was just watching and thought, oh, this beat, let's make it faster. I think people would appreciate how quickly the film moves. You couldn't pinpoint to a certain scene that I cut because every scene is still in the movie. It's just cutting the fat, and because it's a found footage, that allows me to have it feel a little choppy to fine tune the beats." And apparently they are also working on another feature called Obsession with the producer of Fall and 47 Meters Down. He goes on to describe this next film as, "It's horror, completely horror, it's terrifying. It's going to be insane. This movie is unlike anything I think anyone's ever seen. It's so different from Milk and Cereal. I'm not in it and I will not be found footage movie. It'll be shot more like The Chair," which is another one of their short films on their YouTube channel. So like I said, I really enjoyed the film. If you haven't checked it out, it's worth a check out if you love found footage and just a good thriller. I definitely did enjoy it. Like I said, it is very disturbing at times. I'm just going to warn you on that one for sure. But overall, I think Milk and Cereal is one of the exciting things when it comes to filmmaking today. I love when you get these filmmakers that are just doing it themselves and putting themselves out there no matter what anybody says or what the system says as well. So very excited to see more of these creators and whatever they may do next. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on Milk and Cereal if you watched it or not. And as always, that's going to do it for me. 35,000 subscribers is our goal. Less than 3,000 to go for that. So let's get to it. We do have a video on Apartment 7A as well as Jurassic World Rebirth. And we will have a video on Strange Darling today. So stay tuned. I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe. Stay positive.